Hello and welcome back to another First Down Impressions, and today we are going to be playing the Stanley Parable Deluxe on the PS5. I've never played this game, but I have purchased it for someone and I've seen them play it. So yeah, I kind of seen a little bit of it and I know what it's kind of about, but I do not remember anything. I just remember laughing a lot. So we'll see where we land on this one. So to start straight off, the game asks you, what subtitle language would you like? So I'm going to choose English because that is the language I know. And have you played the Stanley Parable before? I'm going to be saying no because you do have a chance to say yes. It's not grayed out. So say no. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. I'm going to leave it at that because I can still see it, but I know what it's going to be like for other screens that are watching. Please enter the current time. Oh, crumbs. It is 18:01. Hang on. 6 p.m. Confirm. Note, accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Good to know. How would you like to begin the game settings? So let's have a look at settings to start off with. Oh, look, our screen is on the computer. So field of view, yeah, camera sensitivity, invert Y, we are going to turn that on. Controller vibration, yes please. Presentation, English, show subtitles. Subtitled medium, medium's good enough, I think. Subtitle opacity. Let's move it down to about... It's about 50%, I think. That'd be nice. Sorry, it was a bit quiet there. I was listening to what they were talking in the background. There is an actual conversation going on. Huh. Okay, so show translation labels, show color labels, show content warnings. Enables content warnings and an option to skip sections of the game that deal with suicide, trauma, and mental health issues. Okay, so just as a warning, I am going to have that off, so I'm going to experience the full game, just so you know. All right. Reset settings, delete save data. All right, so let's go to audio. It's probably going to be very important to have the audio quite high, so I'm going to put it at 75, the main volume. All right. The controls wise, simplifies controls. Oh, what's that? Interact is going to be everything. Huh. Okay, we're going to have that off. Okay, I think that's good. Switch panel. We should be good to go. All right, let's begin the game. Ever the end is ever the... Press X to skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning,
did he have no holiday?
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
All right, Stanley's happy. And we are going to be Stanley.
One day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So, what we're going to do is, I've got control now, so it's going to be an hour from here. I'm going to follow all the instructions that I'm supposed to do to start off with and see what happens. Stepped out of my office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where's the meeting room? Do we know where the meeting room is? I don't know where the meeting room is.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left it is. Right, the door's shut behind me. Can I? No, you can't get. Do you know what? It's very slow turning. I am going to see if I can change the camera sensitivity to a little bit higher. This seems a little bit better for me. Yeah, alright. Good.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, going to our boss's office. We're just going to quickly browse over that one. How to solve a worker dispute. Oh, hang on. Let it ball up inside. Okay, so we're going to our... No, do you want to go to the broom closet? That's not allowed. Upstairs to his
Coming to a
boss.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alrighty, following the boss's office. Oh, hello. This looks a bit different. What does that say? Executive bathroom? No, no, thank you. Don't want that. This field of view seems like it's a bit disorientating for me. Field of view.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Okay.
2845.
2845
But
it
of
is.
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. What's going on here? It's very dark. Guess I'm pressing the down button. It feels very Portal 2-ish. Or Portal-like. Portal-like. Oh man, what would I give to play
Descending
Portal
deeper
again?
into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
I don't think I want to.
Feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright. Why is there an orange yellow thing there? Okay, interesting. Nothing above? Nope.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. Hang on, what's that say? Can I read? Left is crouch, apparently. Left
Lights
trigger.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Alright, let's have a look. These are very widescreen TVs. Okay. Am I... Oh, hello.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each
Fired.
bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Is it 427, is it mine? Is that mine over there? Yeah, that's my desk over there. Okay. Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Wonder how many individual images there are.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Well, it seems like it.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Alright, how do I do that?
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, how am I supposed to do that? In the power? It's got to be in the power, isn't it? It's lit. Mind control system. So what does it say? Mind control system. I don't see what it says.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place.
There we go. I've turned it off. I did what I was told.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Is this genuinely outside?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Is that it for the... Yeah, there we go. Beat the game. So you do everything you're supposed to do, and that's what happens. Oh, get your first trophy. Trophy! Alright, hang on. 427. I am back again. So, this time I'm going to do the opposite of what they want me to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nope. I could not. Can I go through any of these other doors? No. I want to go through there. Let's see.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, obviously we're not going to go on the left now. We're going to the right. Hello,
This
everyone
was
that's
not the
watching.
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay. Employee lounge, here it is.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
First open door on my left, so I'm not going to go the first open door on my left. And that room was very, very, like, it's very cold. It wasn't really like a welcoming kind of room to be sort of like spending your time in. I'm supposed to go through there. Not gonna. What's up through here? Okay. Architectural
Stanley was
stuff?
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Fair enough. Alright, we are in... What? I don't know where we are. So we're in penalty for misuse of cargo lift. We're in the cargo bay. Alright. I'm assuming I can't fall off the edge.
Look,
Or
Stanley,
can...
I think
Yes, I
perhaps
can.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone
What?
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What? I'm sorry, what?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's been waiting? What the fridge? Okay, everything's dark. I can't... Oh!
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I don't want to do what you want me to do. That's the thing. I want to... How can I pick up the phone? Oh. I do press X.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That's mean. That's mean. Huh. Fair enough.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee 47. Press square on your controller. I don't want to press square on my controller. I want to do everything that's not what you want me to do. I have to, don't I? Fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a
Oi.
job that demands nothing of him.
What?
And every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Press up on the
Look at him there,
D-pad.
pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
God damn it.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Press run. I want to leave. I want to leave.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Oh, this
But
is true.
behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
That is a strange place for a TV. Oh, hang on.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press
So
square.
he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
All right. Not doing it. Not doing it. Do 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 do. La 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 la. Da, 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 da. I hate Mondays. Or on days. I don't know if that's an M there. Is it an M? Maybe it is. It's going to make me press the button because it's got no other option, is it?
You see,
Fine.
can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
What?
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Weird. One thing I would... So, in that other option I had, I felt
All
like I
his
could fall
co-workers
down.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, so the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to follow, but I'm going to try and escape.
When
There was an
Stanley
escape
came
option.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right, so I can go down there as well. Let's see. What was the other option?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Oh,
not an
it's-
in of any human
I
life.
can't remember what the number was.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, here we go. What other endings can we find?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
Right,
door
escape.
that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
You can die in this? That means I can probably die by
The door
falling
behind
off.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Absolutely, absolutely will. Let's fall down and see ya. Is that it? Is that the end? Can't be. Whoa, okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no. Hang on.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Huh?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay. Nope.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Really? The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors are the very past of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout the development. Though the call-out remains almost identical to the first iteration. Okay, fair enough. Yep, that's the first two doors, and these are, what, nature paintings. Fair enough. Filing cabinets. This is just like office computers. Yeah, it's cool. Always worth having a look at the credits and to the impeccable Kevin Brighton. Right, so we got left and we got right. Does it matter which? Yeah, let's go left. The office 463. I don't want to go up just yet. Is this going to show me all the credits and all the things? Am I supposed to go up? Oh, hang on. Office clock. Boss's office. Are there 3 different versions of it? Hello. Side doors. Mind controlled. Ooh, hello. Narrator
Now look
outtakes.
closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good standard game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on where he was supposed to be in the story. Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Then he pushed the number 4. Then he pushed the number 8. Stanley stood on the snow.
Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
He pushed the number 9. Still nothing.
I like that. I like the fact that they've got some outtakes. Let's go up here. Freedom ending. Yep, got that one. One of the discs from an early version of the countdown ending. Cool. Another version of freedom ending. Huh. The lift, the monitor, yeah, photographs. Stanley on. Whoa, okay.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I'm not sure I want to press that because that's going to turn the game off, isn't it? Can't do anything else, can it, really? This is the game design mockup. Yep, right. You've got the lounge, all right. The office. The cargo lift. The cargo lift. The apartment timer. In previous versions of the choice leading up to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Maintenance layout. The other entrances will be hidden depending on how you entered. Option 1, option 2, 1 option, vent. Vent? The flow of hallways following the first 2 doors was important to get right, since players would replay them many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. I'm guessing the option 1. And what's in here? Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what colour they had pulled. Alrighty. What is this? The Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon it to change it again shortly before lunch. The game is now paused. Yeah, okay, escape menu. A long time we had an early ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Fortunately, very few players realised this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Yeah, I can imagine. And we are back there, so let's just continue up through this hall here. Looks like a projector on the wall over there. It's 3 different rooms, which are Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. Projector. So, are you a rock? Chris Zion. What is the strange number? Could you tell the different significance of the number 11128 is? What are these for? Asking the narrator. Well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? Oh! Are these people... I have burning questions. For instance, on the scale of Max Ennis to Salvador Dali, how surreal will this game be? Were you born with a magnificent voice, or did you bargain with a magician to receive it? In line with the previous announcement regarding ongoing promotion here as a result of the attached file, see carefully the full details of the result. Congratulations, be the first to apply for a greeting, omnipotent voice. I want to tell you, I like the Stanley Parable as much as I like seeing humorously small badger in swimming trunks. Indeed, I like it as much as I like walking the park. Oh, God damn it. These are really funny. These are just emails from people. And also, how do you type in with boxing gloves on? Oh, God. And what do the lights in the control room do? I really want to know. Right. Well, you can probably spend ages looking at those. Why is there money? Fun. That's definitely things I've not seen here yet, isn't there? And we're back down here. So let's go over to that Stanley parable switch that I can possibly press. Or switch. Switch is gonna switch. No footsteps. Come on. Get there quicker. Come on.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh, controller.
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Well, I let time. I wanted to see that ending. Split. All right, so
All
now
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
we're going to go in the right door again, and this time we're going to fall off the lift. I want to see if that actually
When
means...
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Well,
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
not really. It's a bit
Wow.
dull.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Not this time, not just yet.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Warning, do not jump while the cargo lift in motion. It will cause death. So,
Look,
we are
Stanley,
going
I
to...
think perhaps we've gotten off on... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Oh,
Good
always makes
job,
my stomach go.
Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Alright, so you can. Now we're going to go through the door that we were told that we should go back to
Stanley
after
had never
entering the
seen
door on the
office
right.
this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Huh? That's new, isn't it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That could have been a different conversation then. Alright.
And so
Maybe.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay. We've got new options. Where does this take us?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Can't go through there.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Right. So
All of his
now we're going to
co-workers were
follow
gone.
the
What
instructions
could it mean?
from
Stanley
the
decided to go to the
right-hand
meeting
side.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait,
What?
what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Oh, wow,
Let's
really?
find the story.
I can't go through there. Does that lead through that bit as well? I'm assuming it does. Yes, that leads through there. Alright, well, let's go through the first one on our right. Oh, it really does snake around, doesn't it? No, let's go right. I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, wow, blimey.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No,
Well, I
no.
find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
other door's going to be... There's going to be no doors. Right, okay.
Okay, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Right. I am following the narrator now. Coffee falling off the side. What is that on the left? Oh, flower. A flower leaf, even. Doesn't look like there's much this way.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
The hell?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, man.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is a new way.
See?
4B7.
The line
4
knows
question
where
mark
the story
8.
is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, Are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just
okay.
stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
What the hell? Okay. So you can go through here and it's down to the financial records. Or...
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Right, let's go.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
What the frig? We're back here again.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Alright. Are we still following the line?
Stanley,
No, we're
I
not.
say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okie dokie.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Whoa, okay.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
So we... do I follow him or do I follow the line? What's going on?
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
All right.
Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
Here we go. You've been
Hold on,
playing
what's this?
for...
Hmm.
Huh?
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Adventureland, return to the office, return to the
All
monitor
this
room.
goes?
Adventureland into
It's
unexplored territory, find the line again.
Determined?
Find the
So
confusing
now, according
ending,
to the schedule, I
restart the
again.
game.
Then what?
Narrator forgets
Am I
about the
just
previous
supposed to
restarts.
forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
Stanley attempts to play
My
the
mind
story
goes
but is
blank
prevented and unable to go
simply
anywhere, I
because it's written
think.
here on this
Game restarts on its
thing.
own.
Wall.
Find the line again, begin the following
Well,
line,
who
find an
consulted
identical
me? Why don't
replica
I
of the
get to
line,
decide?
office.
Why don't I get a say in
Split
all of
to
this?
it.
Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now, is it going to follow what it said on that blackboard thing? Or not in
When
the blackboard?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I want to enter that other door and then go
Standing now
straight
in
ahead
this
instead of down the
incredible
left.
room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Which is this one.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
Not through
walked
there
straight
this
ahead
time.
to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ah, okay, we're back on track.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I didn't. A letter, it looks like.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
I'm going around in
Maybe,
circles.
he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun. and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
This is
He
taking
felt
ages.
the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Did I...
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the hell is going on?
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Back down the same road. New content. Alright.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Is this part of the extra stuff? Is this the Deluxe? The Deluxe? Oh, it must be. And what's in the new?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. I think I went through that door, didn't I? So, let's go down here.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Do I press a button?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
This is going to take ages, isn't it?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Whoa, what? Can't jump when you're outside the circle. Come on. 14, 13, 12, 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, Oh, there you go. You can't jump. Trophy! I wonder how many other trophies I've missed.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Yeah, absolute infinite blackness. Oh, hello. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay. Oh, all right. Hello.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
crawling. We are crawling. Where are we going?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
And you know what? You won't get a chance to see it because that is my hour. Well, I don't know how much more the game is. And it does feel like it is progressing, but it's just I think it's just like a one playthrough and a trophy hunt if you wanted to play it through again. But I'm not going to show you the rest of this because this is probably worth you discovering what it is at the end yourself. I've enjoyed it. I don't know if this game's going to be for everyone. It's probably like humor is very difficult to sort of get right when you've. It's difficult to enjoy more than once, I suppose, if you know what's coming. It feels like a very samey kind of like, this is the joke, you either do it or you don't, and they comment on it and they change things up. I just want to see, as you can see, the content, the extra content stuff is I'm sure there's going to be more, a lot more. But you know, the first game, there's definitely parts I've not seen, so I'm trying to find those areas, or was trying to. Doesn't look like I can find them now. It's whether or not you are willing to find it on your own or having to repeat rooms again and again. It doesn't feel like I can repeat. It still continues. It still feels like you are getting things wrong. I wonder if you can just repeat the same ending twice, and it will still comment on the fact that you've already done this ending. Huh. I might have to try that one out. Anyway, that's my hour, and it's probably wait for a sale for me if you're wanting to play this game for get your money's worth. It's probably it's about an hour into this now, so maybe 2, 3, 4 hours worth of the game if you want to find everything. I don't know exactly, but it seems well made. It seems quite funny. I have chuckled to myself a few times. But humor is individual, and it's whether or not you go like this kind of game. You probably won't. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah. I thought the door just disappeared then. I realised we did come out from that vent. So, we shall leave it here. And I will see you next time on First Day Impressions. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. See you next time.